Boys, girls, here I've got a Laney Ironheart IRT120 something or other, H I think for head. Just wanted to show you the kind of quality that Laney considers sweet as. Alright, so this one's got some really weird shit going on. I sort of got into it after first listening to it, and I want to plug it back in and show you the weird stuff going on because it sounds super weird. It's almost like a synthesizer. It's like an oscillator, and it changes what frequency it's oscillating by what you trigger it with via the input. It's really strange problems, man. But anyway, so yeah, the first couple of things I realised, someone's been in here and done some work. Well, the first thing I spotted was down here. You got R28 fusible written on the board there, and then someone's got, well, two 4.7k resistors in parallel, probably not fusible ones, really dodgily mounted, floating off the board, a fair whack, and not soldered real well. So I've got to figure out what the hell happened there and why they felt that was necessary. Is that when you're working on stuff that's been worked on before, it's kind of a little bit of psychiatry as well as of the previous tech. Like, what were you thinking, man? But anyway, so yeah, something dramatic has happened here. He's replaced the reverb chip, because digital reverb. You can see the U6, which is the regulator, probably the, I guess, off the top of my head, 3.3 volt rail maybe. There's a couple of areas of traces damaged there. I don't know if that couldn't have been a short, surely. That might have been just scratches, because looking at here, you can see where his tweezers is levered up the chip, because he got tired of waiting for whatever heat he was applying to take effect. So there's scratches there on the ground plane from squeezing some tweezers under there and trying to lever it up. It looks like he's changed the reg, although he may have, the work looks pretty sketch, so he may have just removed that one, tested it and reinstalled it. It looks like maybe he used a hot air station, because the flux looks burned on top. I really hope that's not the actual reg drawing that current, but I'll check that. There's a couple of like solder balls and stuff around, but they look stock. The construction on this thing's generally really shitty. There's no reason it can't work, but yeah, it's pretty low quality amp. So yeah, that's like the effects loop and reverb board all on one board. But they've also got a bias switch on there. It's a switch between EL34 and 6L6. And I've also got a model switch, 120 watt and 60 watt, which I guess has something to do with the bias circuits. And that way they can use the same PCB for the two different models of amp, the 60 watt and the 120 watt. And they've got this really weird green paint locking all the connectors and whatever in. It's like they couldn't afford Loctite. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this thing. And then I had a look at this and look at the fucking heater connectors for the output board. Look how burnt they are. They've been making some serious heat, man. Yeah, that's not good either. And they just look fried. Like the plating's gone off, and they've heated up that much that it's like fried the plating off the spade connector. Same for both of them. That one's not quite as bad, but it's still pretty bad. So that's no good. That would be giving intermittent connection at best. I mean, look at that. It's just crusty as hell. And then the connectors are not, well, yeah, you can see all the pitting there from where it's probably arced and sparked. Ultra high current, and all the soldering on the valve sockets has been hand soldered with the world's shittiest solder. The flux there, it just looks super caustic. It's started to corrode itself. I'll clean it off and see how or if we can recover that. Yeah, so that's the output board. Then yeah, back down to the preamp boards, and then I saw here as well. I'll just bring some light down. So this is like what? There's a few weird choices there in terms of what board they use where, but that's the rhythm channel preamp board. Yeah. So this it looks to me like a spill. At first glance, I thought it was a burn, but testing all the connections are okay. And there's a little bit of a splash there on the pot, which makes me think it was an actual spill. But for it to be upside down and have something spilled, it's like it's something the tech spilled on it, like he's had his whiskey or something, and while he's working on it. I don't know who repaired it, or for all I know, this shit could be like from the factory. But yeah, so there's all sorts of weird shit going on in this thing. Soldering on the pins, like they haven't even filled the hole with solder. Like, let's grab the tweezers, like down there. That's like the rest of the hole open. Yeah, it's pretty bad, eh? So yeah, I don't know, Laney. It's just one of those. Oh, they actually feel bulgy too, and they're supposedly 105s. Top con. Why do all capacitor manufacturers have con in the name? Like, it's not really inspiring much confidence, is it? Confidence. Let's see what I did there. Yeah, they actually feel bulgy. Often these plastic caps bulge up just because over time this plastic shrinks a little bit and pushes them up. But I can actually feel the alley through there, and it's not pushing down. That they're a little bulgy, so they're probably fucked. Probably because they're right next to this heater, essentially 330 ohm resistor. Probably, I guess the 7 probably stands for 7 watts. Yeah, I don't even know whether I want to dig into this one. Like, I might fix a bunch of shit and then something else will go wrong. I don't know. I kind of am a glutton for punishment though. I do like difficult amps for some reason. Yeah, well, anyway, we'll see how we go. I'll throw a dart at the dartboard for pricing, and hopefully I don't do my ass on it. Anyway, thanks for watching, champions. Enjoy the lockdown when it happens.